Before I dive into this tale, let me throw a question your way. What would you do if some stranger just waltzed in and parked a couple of high-end cars right in your garage, acting like it was their personal showroom? No heads up, no permission, just bam, there they are. Sounds insane, right? I never thought it'd happen to me, but boy, did it spiral into chaos. My name's Tom, and this is the story of how a guy with a welding torch and a short fuse fought back to reclaim what was rightfully his. Stick around. It's got twists, tension, and a dose of sweet justice. My garage isn't just a spot to stash junk, it's my sanctuary, earned through sweat and years of hard labor. For over 2 decades in this cozy suburb on Elm Lane, I've turned it into a haven of creativity and calm. There's my late dad's massive oak workbench, scarred from countless projects, weighing a solid 400 pounds. The air hangs heavy with the scent of fresh sawdust from the wooden plaques I carve and the sharp tang of engine grease. And then there's Rex, my loyal Boston Terrier, curled up in his worn-out bed, snoring away as I tinker late into the night. I swing those doors wide at dawn, around 6 a.m., and shut him by midnight. No one's ever griped, not the folks strolling by with their morning coffee, who often pause to admire my latest build, or the kind widow down the block who drops off fresh lemonade on sweltering afternoons. Frank, the grizzled army vet next door, swings by to swap tools and stories about everything from fixing transmissions to the days when folks respected boundaries. But peace like that, it's fragile, and I should have seen the storm brewing when that first red flag waved. It started innocently enough on a crisp Thursday evening last fall. I'm elbow-deep in repairing a neighbor's fence panel when this polished woman struts up, flawless auburn curls, cruising in a sleek silver Mercedes, clipboard in hand like she's auditing the neighborhood. "Hello," she says with a grin that doesn't touch her eyes. "I'm Lisa, your new HOA chair. Just settled into the Colonial on Pine Drive." HOAs can be fine for keeping things tidy, but the way she scanned my setup, like she was cataloging flaws, set my nerves on edge. I played nice, though manners drilled in from childhood. "Impressive workshop," she remarks, fingering my tools without asking. "So, rustic." The word dripped with disdain, like my life's work was an eyesore. Then she drops the bomb. "Do you always leave the doors ajar this long? It disrupts the street's aesthetic, don't you think?" Aesthetic? I'm standing there with calluses and grime, wondering what that has to do with a man earning an honest living in his own space. "Been this way for 25 years, I reply evenly. "No issues." Her smile turns predatory. "Times evolve, Mr. Harlan. We'll adapt for the greater good." A few days later, she's back, armed with glossy documents. "Updated community guidelines," she announces. "Workshop doors open no more than 7 hours daily to preserve home values." 7 hours? I nearly choked on my coffee. "Lady, that's barely enough time to brew a pot and sketch a plan." My pulse quickened as she waved off my protests. Progress requires sacrifice. That progress felt like a noose tightening. Rules snowballed from there. No visible equipment, no driveway repairs, fines for clutter. It transformed our laid-back block into a pressure cooker. Frank got slapped with a $250 penalty for his lawn edging a 1/4 inch too high, measured like it was a military inspection. Excessive growth, the notice read. The widow faced citations for her blooming flower beds, clashing with uniformity. Whispers spread. Who was this woman? Turning neighbors into suspects. Then the creepy stuff kicked in. My outdoor camera, installed after a rash of mailbox thefts 5 years back, suddenly angled wrong, pointing at nothing but my recycling bins. Not storm damage, too precise. Joe, the electrician 3 houses over, pulls me aside one dusk. "Saw a vehicle slipping into your garage around 2 a.m. last night. Midnight gig. I was out cold by then, but sure enough, fresh oil spots dotted the floor, neat puddles from some foreign engine, not my trusty Chevy." Paranoia crept in, but I shrugged it off until Lisa hit me with a $200 fine for extended door operation. She'd been spying, stopwatch in hand. Fury boiled as I forked over cash that could have fixed my leaking roof. That night, I rigged hidden cams, sensing the invasion was just warming up. The hammer fell on a rainy Monday morning in early winter. I get an urgent call from a family uptown, their shed door jammed, trapping their van. Solid folks, always paid prompt. I gear up, pat Rex on the head, guard the fort, boy, and hit the road by 7 a.m., planning to wrap by lunch. But mid-job, my phone erupts. The home alert I wired after Mom's stroke years ago. Rex's frantic barks echo through the line, not his playful yips, but deep, warning growls. Heart pounding, I rush the fix and speed home, mind racing with worst-case scenarios. Pulling up, dread hits. Doors sealed shut, my pickup shoved aside, a knocked-over thermos spilling on the pavement. Remote in hand, I raise the doors and freeze. 2 Mercedes gleam inside, Lisa's silver one and a midnight blue model, squatting where my bench once stood. My tools scattered, space violated. Rex paces the yard, hackles raised. Who does this? Trembling, I dial emergency services. Someone's commandeered my garage with their cars. The dispatcher sounds skeptical, but Officer Ramirez arrives, brow furrowed. No forced entry, he notes. Civil dispute, talk to your HOA or a attorney. Lisa's office? Unavailable. Lawyers? Retainers starting at $600, waits stretching months. That night, bunking on the sofa, staring at those sealed doors, rage simmers. Legal routes? A joke for folks without deep pockets. Dad always said, when the system's rigged, forge your own path. Rex whines at the window, sensing the shift. We'll handle this, pup. Dawn breaks with resolve. One last shot at civility. Voicemails to the HOA escalate from polite to pointed. Zilch. Attorneys laugh at the timeline, could drag a year. Frank drops by with whiskey, listening intently. Army life taught me, when rules fail, improvise. His words ignite the spark. I'm no vigilante, but after years welding pipelines and frames, I know metal's language. The scheme crystallizes. Seal those doors shut, trap her prizes inside, vanish, and let her stew. Legal? Dubious. Just? Absolutely. I enlist Frank for Rex Duda, no questions asked. Pack the rig with gear, snag a dingy motel 50 miles out. Midnight arrives, neighborhood slumbers. Heart thundering, I fire the torch. Sparks fly as I fuse 8 critical spots, hinges, rails, override latch, each bead a defiant stroke, permanent as etched stone. Metal hisses under flame, echoing Dad's mantra. Strength ain't in size, it's in the bond. By 1:30 a.m., it's done. Doors immovable, evidence erased. I slip away, adrenaline surging, wondering if I've sparked a wildfire. From the motel, feeds crackle to life. Frank reports Rex is uneasy. At 6:45 a.m., Lisa rolls up, poised as ever, remote aimed. Nothing. Confusion morphs to rage. She jabs repeatedly, then inspects, spotting my artistry. Panic sets in. She summons the HOA handyman. They poke with basic kits for hours, baffled, retreating, defeated. Tension mounts as she dials prostorch-wielding experts who nod appreciatively at my welds, snapping pics like it's masterclass material. 6 grueling hours yield 1 cut weld. At this pace, weeks loom. Lisa paces, phone glued to ear, composure cracking. Neighbors gather, murmuring. She calls cops again. Ramirez returns, shrugging. Your cars, his property, court order needed. The block watches like a thriller unfolding. Guilt flickers. Did I overstep? But flashbacks of her tyranny steal me. This wasn't petty, it was survival. Word explodes. Frank spills to the widow, who tells the young parents, and soon the cul-de-sac buzzes. Revelations pour. $300 fine for mismatched curtains, kids' scooters deemed hazards, solar panels, eyesores. Lisa's regime exposed as bullying. Friday, sleek vans swarm her drive, regional brass, dissecting her ring. Her posture crumbles from smug to shattered. My cams captured gold. Weeks prior, Lisa and a crony scouting my garage, rearranging, snapping shots, a premeditated grab. I email the proof politely, regarding my door enhancements. Monday, the director calls. She's terminated, fined $6,000 for trespass, covers all fixes. Gates pristine by Tuesday. Driving home feels triumphant. The street erupts, glaps, a homemade pie from the widow, kid's hero sketch. I wave humbly. It's about community reclaimed. Lisa retrieves her cars wordlessly, face aflame, as quips fly. Watch the curb. Her house lists urgent sale days later. A month on, an envelope slides under. Mr. Harlan, I was out of line. Your workshop inspires. Sincere? Maybe. Our new HOA lead, a former cop, acts as half the nonsense, prioritizing input. Life's back. Doors swing free, Rex snoozes, tunes blare. But that clash taught me to defend your ground, even if it means bending rules. Sometimes, backbone trumps bureaucracy. Did I cross a line welding her in? Or was it fair payback for her invasion? Would you lawyer up or fight fire with fire? Drop your take below. Did she deserve the chaos? Or am I the villain? Like if this fired you up, comment your wildest HOA horror, and subscribe for more real-life showdowns that hit close to home.